Hi everybody! So, of course it's Wednesday, and Ina's taking a nap, and it is like t-shirt weather here near St. Louis today. It's really weird. It's lovely. It's very weird. Like, I have the windows and the doors open on my house to air it out because it's kind of warm. And yeah, and I'm thinking about you know, what we're gonna do for the rest of the month. Beverly, I think I just saw you. Come on. You won the book and the sock yarn giveaway. So you need to like send me a message at Black Sheep Fiber Emporium on Facebook so that you can either choose Hoppy Feet or you can have Froth and Foam. You just have to let me know. And I need your mailing address so that I can ship it out to you. So, Bev, you won! Yay! Let's see. So, sorry, I got distracted a little bit there. Yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about like what's coming up for the next few videos. And today I want to talk about Colorwork again. I know we just talked about Colorwork, but I found my piecework with the article in it where I could kind of recover some of the stuff that we talked about earlier this year. So I wanted to once again talk about that. And then I really loved my magnetic flyer head on the Sonata that I put together on Monday. So it's supposed to be really nice here for the next week. And there's like several things that I kind of want to talk about in the next few weeks. So I thought tomorrow I'm going to come on and I will do a really, you know, short video, a special extra video. I'll try to do it again about 3 o'clock because tomorrow's Thursday. I usually don't take a video on Thursday or do a video on Thursday. But I'm going to get on tomorrow and I want to demonstrate how to use that magnetic flyer head, talk about some of the things that are kind of cool about it. And so that's kind of like tomorrow I'm going to do an extra little video for the week, just a tiny one, at about 3 o'clock my time, so it's about 3 o'clock Central. So if you're interested, of course, you can join me tomorrow. And then next week, again, it's still supposed to be really nice. Like, we're supposed to be 70s for the next week. So my sister-in-law sent me a whole fleece for my birthday, like an entire fleece. So here's the card. You probably can't read this, but it's a Border Leicester fleece. And I have 3.25 pounds, and it has probably been 8 years. Probably 8 years, maybe 9, since I have washed a whole fleece. So I thought Monday, while it's still supposed to be nice, I'm gonna wash some fleece, and we are going to do the pearly shell version of fleece washing. So I contacted my friends Heather and Danielle, and they've done a video, and I thought it would be fun. So here is my box O fiber. That's a 3.25 pound Border Leicester fleece in the raw, and I did wash just one little lock, just rinsed it in hot water. I didn't use any soap or anything. I just rinsed it in hot water. So you know, not a bad fleece. But I thought, yeah, Monday, while it's really nice out and I will still be able to be outside to do my videos, Monday I'm gonna wash a fleece. And I have quite a few hand spun skeins, so if we have time, I'll talk about, you know, doing the, you know, hand spun skeins, how to, you know, wash those and thwack them again. So that's kind of my thought for next Monday. And then Wednesday, I want to block lace. Wednesday, because it's supposed to get colder again. So it'll be the perfect day to go inside, take that big shawl that I finally finished, and we'll block my big, beautiful sea lace shawl next Wednesday, so that's the 11th. And then the following week, I want to do sort of a little tatting primer again on the 16th of November. That's my plan. And I wrote all of this down because I've been having trouble remembering what I was going to do. So I have like a little list of things. And then the 18th, finally, I want to do a kit day. So, you know, I'll talk about various kits that we can make for you, and I'll make sure that the website's all updated. And on the 18th, we're going to do a kit day. So I'll show you kits and I will talk about the various patterns, and you can ask questions, and they will be up for sale on the Black Sheep website. And we might even do like a little mini like percentage off coupon sale or something too. But the 18th, put it on your calendar, we're doing kit day. So that gives me a little time. Okay, good, I think I'm back. Let's see. So sorry for that slight interruption. Internet issues. I do live in the country, so sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not. So today what I want to focus on is Colorwork, and remind you that Tina is doing a poncho knit along, so those will be some of the kits that I will feature on kit day on the 18th. And let's see, she should be on Friday, I think. I'm pretty sure that they're down in Arizona now. She should be on Friday doing something. I'm not sure what she's doing. I should really call Tina and find out what she's planning for Friday. But it should be lots of fun. Tina's videos are always kind of entertaining. You just never know, right, with these live videos, what we're going to say and do. So anyway, today I just want to get back to talking a little bit about Colorwork and some of the different styles of Colorwork and what I'm considering for my next piece, my next project. I'm trying to get some of my design mojo back now that Ina is almost 2, and she's letting me do a little bit more during the day. So she lets me spin and she lets me sew. She still isn't letting me knit yet. I'm like, come on, honey, just let me knit while you play. But no, she's not into that yet. But anyway, so with Colorwork, it's really all about, or stranded knitting, if you want to think of it like that. It's really about the floats, and the floats are the really important piece of this, because when you're doing Colorwork and you have, you know, at least 2 colors of yarn that are coming together to make your design, it's all knit, right? So this is all knit, or, you know, knit on one side, purl on the other, whatever. But so it's a stockinette base. But then we have to consider the floats, or the yarn behind our knitting, because if we do our floats too tight, then it's really hard to get things on. It doesn't fit correctly because the floats are too tight. And it's also important to think about how many stitches you can actually float across without distorting the pattern or causing other issues where, like, your fingers or your toes can get caught on those floats. And so, oh look, I've pulled a float here. Oh well, it's fine. So when you are when you're thinking about your Colorwork and what you're planning to do with it, it's just really important to think about those floats and how they sit behind your work. And there's actually 4 different ways that you can do your floats. So there's stranded knitting, where you have parallel floats, so like this. There's stranded knitting where you have a rotating float. There is what they think of as a bound knitting, right, where it's woven in, and then there's also twining. And each of them creates a little bit different fabric. With the parallel floats, those are the ones that you risk yarn dominance, right? So that's where you can have one color that dominates another, and that's just because of the nature of how the yarns are interacting, because one is always sitting on top of the other behind your work, and so then the front of your work can exhibit some kind of color dominance as a result of that. Rotated floats means, you know, when you're rotating your floats, you're just moving one over the other, so you're rotating them every time. So if your white is on top and blue is on the bottom, then the next time you would bring your work up, you would rotate them, and you just keep rotating around and around. So that's the idea behind that. And then the twine binding, the twine bindings where the new yarn is always brought forward over the old yarn. And twine binding's interesting. I like it all right. I like twine binding all right. But I kind of like woven binding a little bit better. So with woven binding, twisted sections of yarn where you've been rotating over and over and over and over, like you do with twine binding or rotated floats. Excuse me, twine binding or parallel floats. So yeah, the ones that I really like best, I like rotated floats and I like woven binding, where if your blue is on top one time, then it'll be on the bottom the next, and it just goes back and forth and back and forth. I haven't knit a ton like that, but the ones that I've done, I find them more rhythmic for me, they work better for me, and that's really what it comes down to, is what works best for you. So if you haven't like picked up a copy of Piecework, it happens to be the which one is this one? The summer 2020 issue is the one that this article is in, and it was Methods of Multicolor Knitting Fading Traditions. And actually, if you subscribe to Piecework, you can get all of the back issues digitally, so that's kind of nice, so you can check this article out. But it's a really good article about the 4 different types of multicolor knitting. Now, I will say that most of the time I tend to do parallel floats. So this one, for example, this one is a parallel float. You can tell it's definitely not twisted. And another thing is that you don't want your floats to be too long, so really you should be catching the yarn behind every second or third stitch at the very least. With twined and woven binding, you actually do it on every stitch. So, you know, that's something to think about too. With these mitts, I actually knit them with my Portunintal knitting. And so I carried one strand of yarn Continental and one strand Portuguese style around my neck. Made it really, really fast to knit. It's kind of my preferred way to work Colorwork now, because it's so comfortable and easy. But not something I can do with my toddler, unfortunately. Not something I can do with my toddler. But you can see again that I've used the parallel float technique, and you can see that they're very even and very parallel across the back there. So I think as I move forward with Colorwork, I have this idea, and what I want to do is take the darny, because, you know, this is a great wool yarn. It helps your Colorwork when you're doing any kind of stranding or Colorwork knitting, except stripes. Stripes don't count. I mean, they count, but not for what I want to talk about. Where you're trying to do patterning, 100% wool yarns are really the way to go. You can use superwash and it looks okay, but the 100% wool yarns will grip each other a little bit more, and because of that, you get a little more fullness to your Colorwork than you do with a superwash yarn. And I really like the way, it doesn't have to be 100% wool. I should just say a non-superwash, because technically it could be like an 80-20, or, you know, like a merino and silk. That's lovely stuff, merino silk. Ooh, or targi silk, that would be super nice too. I really enjoyed spinning the targi the other day. It was excellent fiber to spin. For the darny, this is my idea, is I want to take my charcoal and then I want to rotate through some colors. So I'll do this kind of band of Colorwork. Yes, where I'll do the charcoal and the buttercup, and the charcoal and the heath, and the charcoal and the garnet, and then I don't have the orange with me, but we have one that's called Fox and Cubs, and so I just have this idea where I'll use these fall colors and make kind of a band of Colorwork. And I think it'll be really cool. I kind of, you know, Colorwork mapped it out. I use the Entwined charting software. It's very inexpensive if you're looking for a software that can help to visually chart Colorwork, cables, lace, etc. Very inexpensive. And reasonably easy to use. I'm pretty sure they're still selling it. My copy is so old. But it's a good copy and it works, and so that's what I use for all of my charts. But that's my idea, is that I want to take these and I want to do this like color shift pattern with the charcoal as kind of the background color, and then use the other colors as the accents. So that's also part of why I wanted to discuss, you know, Colorwork and sort of introduce it as a way to wrap your head around making patterns using color in your knitting, because I think it's a lot of fun. Even if you just do stripes, if you try out stripes, or even slip stitch color work, that's a ton of fun too. And with slip stitch color work, you only ever work with one strand of yarn, one color at a time, but you still get to have some really fun color play. So anyway, that's what I wanted to broach with color work today. I know I've talked about color. I feel like I've been talking about color work every week. I know it hasn't been every week, but I feel like it's been every week. And again, steeking is nothing to be afraid of. After Thanksgiving, maybe. I think I'm going to take the week of Thanksgiving off for videos, and just try to prep some stuff for December. And I think we'll do the big kit day on November 18th, and then for December, I'll have, you know, a whole lineup of videos again. But I'm thinking for December, I will show you guys how to do a steek. Could be fun. There's various ways. I'll show you one or maybe two of the ways to do a steek, because there are several ways to do a steek. But anyway, so let me run through this again. We talked a little bit about color work again today because I'm kind of prepping to design something, color work. So I just wanted to run through that one more time. Tomorrow I am going to do just a short little sort of review and how to use the magnetic flyer head for the Sonata at about 3 o'clock again, my time. And then Monday the 9th, I want to wash some fleece, since my sister-in-law bought me that fleece. Remember, we have fleece. I have a fleece. I have a whole 3-pound fleece. So we'll look at how to wash a fleece on Monday, and if we have time, I'll cover washing hand-spun yarn again on Monday. But I have just recently done that, so we might skip it. And then the 11th, we'll talk about blocking lace again, and I'll show you how to block those triple yarn overs along the edge. Really easy, but how to block the triple yarn overs along the edge of the Elroy shawl from the knit along I did this summer. And then on the 16th, we're going to talk tatting again, and the 18th is going to be kit day. So the 18th, I'm going to show you, you know, all the little kits and the colors, and I'll make sure that the website's all updated. And Tina is doing a poncho knit along, and we have poncho kits. I need to update the website and get all of that up there, but we have fun stuff planned for that. And she will be back hopefully on Friday talking about the poncho knit along, and getting everything updated for that. So, and I should have a newsletter out hopefully Friday. That's always my goal, is to release the newsletters on Friday, although we've done a sad job of getting that done. But that is the goal. So if you aren't yet on our newsletter list, make sure that you go to blacksheepfiberemporium.com, join the newsletter list. What else do I need to tell you? Make sure that you are liking our Facebook page so you get notifications when we go live. And if that's not quite your thing, you can go subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do try to make sure that I put the videos up on the YouTube channel as well. I try to do it the same day. Sometimes it's the next day. But do try to make sure that the videos are getting up there. And don't forget that Tina made a really, really cute little needle felted pumpkin recently, and did a whole video with that and put it on YouTube. So you can go buy a kit from Black Sheep and check out the video and work along with Tina to make your needle felted pumpkins. So let's see, if you haven't heard, this weekend is usually the weekend that I am at Ozark Fiber Fling down in Steelville, Missouri, and usually I'm teaching and I'm vending and we're having all kinds of fun. But sadly we couldn't do that this year, so we are doing kind of an online version. So I will be over in the Ozark Fiber Fling Facebook page group thing on and off for the next few months, talking about some of the things that that we have available, and teaching some small classes, and yeah, it's gonna be all kinds of fun. So you may see some links from the Ozark Fiber Fling popping up on our Facebook page or our Instagram account, and that's why. So now I think you're all caught up and all up to date. I will see you next week. Until then, take care of yourselves. As I always say, physically, emotionally, mentally. keep crafting. Take time for yourself if you need it. I had lots of extra chocolate cake this week because it was my birthday and I had made a chocolate cake. So I've had lots of chocolate cake this week. And I highly recommend indulging in whatever your tiny indulgence is. And mine happens to be chocolate. I really like chocolate. Anyway, until next time, take care of yourselves. And Beverly, don't forget, send me your info so that I can ship out your little prize. So, and I'm going to try to do more of these giveaways, like maybe once a month. We'll try to do a little monthly giveaway. Why not? I can. It's all kinds of fun, right? So, anyway, tell your friends. Invite them to watch the videos and share. And if you have suggestions for what you want me to teach in December, please let me know. You can leave a comment here or on YouTube, or you can always contact me at Kelly, that's Kelli, @ Black Sheep, ATORENCO.com. You can also find that on the website at blacksheepfiberemporium.com. Pop me a message and I'll see if there's something that I can teach you in December. That's kind of the plan. I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.